I simply want to work for a cause. HCS officer is the agency which implements the policies of the government at the ground level. Anybody who wants to serve the nation, who wants to devote his life to the service of the people, they should come.
I am your host Gaurav Garg and we welcome all our viewers to our show Amazing Mentor. Today with us is Mr. Yashpal Yadav. He is a 1999 batch HCF officer. Later was promoted as IS officer and got 2011 batch. Currently he is Commissioner Municipal Corporation Faridabad. It's a pleasure to welcome Mr. Yashpal Yadav to our show Amazing Mentor. Welcome sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you for providing this opportunity.
My pleasure sir. So tell us about your childhood and any particular childhood memory that you would like to share on our show.
So I come from a rural area of southern Haryana district, Mahendragarh, and I have a lot of fond memories of that place and childhood. In fact, it was very simple in comparison with the present generation who are in the urban areas right now. So we were free to go anywhere, play any game, and do whatever we want to do. So it was a joint family type of a thing, and it's very small village, so there was bonhomie among the residents, and we feel very free to meet anyone, to enter anybody's house at any point of time. So it was great to be there, and I have really fond memories of the place.
So what about your school education, higher education?
So I started in a middle school of my own village, then spent 2 years for high school at a nearby village. After that, I joined Sanjay College Ateli, a private college around 30-35 kilometers from my village. So basically, graduation I did from my own district, and then I joined Kurukshetra University for my post-graduation in Geography. Of course, later on, for some time, I joined Punjab University, Chandigarh as a student of law.
So what was your dream profession as a child?
So I come from an area where people really love to join army or education. So my first dream was to join Indian Army, and I tried for that and went for SSB in 1996, I think, but got rejected, and then I started thinking about other options, and later on I joined DAV College Chandigarh for some time and spent around 10-11 months there during 97-98.
So when did it strike that you should prepare for SCX examination?
So I joined DAV College Chandigarh, and my uncle was a PCS officer at that time, and he was with Chandigarh administration on deputation. So he motivated me to prepare for civil services. He knew it that I wanted to join army, so up to that point of time, nobody challenged that option, and they supported it. But once I failed, then they asked me to explore other possibilities, and since my uncle was in civil services, so he asked me to prepare for it. And in 1998, I seriously started preparing for it, and first I cleared my prelims for IAS, appeared in mains, then I cleared HCS also and joined HCS in 1999.
So any notorious memory that you would like to share of your college time?
Not exactly the college time, but at university, of course, it was some sort of agitation which I was part of. In Kurukshetra University, in first year, we could take 2 optional subjects, but the then chairman of the department, he didn't allow it, and he tried to impose his choice. So we rebelled, and we shouted some slogans against him and agitated, and later on he called us and accepted our demand. So that was the only incident which I think I took part as a student and agitated. Otherwise, most of the time I have been very timid and very compliant and very obedient. So that was the only incident I could remember which I took part. When I joined college later on, and now when I look back, I think it was not the right way to put our demands. We could simply go silently and request him, but that was it.
So what all challenges did you face while preparing for your HCS examination?
Fortunately, I have been a protected child as far as the needs of the life are concerned. Most of the time, my parents and my family, they were able to provide me whatever was required for preparation of civil services. And fortunately, I got a job also. So a brief period, I was financially independent. Only thing was just to motivate myself. After my dream shattered, after I failed to join army, I was a little bit disappointed, disturbed for some point of time. But later on, I collected myself and then I started preparing for civil services. And in my whole life, I never studied so intentionally. I never enjoyed reading so intentionally. So it was a really great time, and I realized I could pass it very easily. But a lot of people helped me. My family, my uncle, my cousin, a good friend of mine. I stayed with him for 6 months at Rohtak, and then he came to Chandigarh, and we stayed together for next 6 months, and we prepared hard together. He helped me a lot. Other colleagues, like they also supported. So never a challenge except to motivate myself. Otherwise, everything was available, and family was very supportive.
So, who was your inspiration in your early childhood?
There are so many family members who were there to help me. My mother, she took good care of me. And parents are, of course, the first teachers to teach you the life of your earlier lessons. Then I have my grandmother who supported me and who motivated me always. And she was next to God to me. And then my uncle and my brother and sister and cousins. There are so many people, but my grandmother contributed a lot in making what I am presently. And my uncle, of course, he motivated me professionally, and he was a person whom I always try to imitate. So there was an example who I could follow, and he made me what I'm as an officer.
So, what was the reaction of your parents when you told them, okay, I have been selected as an officer, and whom did you call first post seeing your result?
So my parents, they were of course very happy. Every parent, they want their kids to be very successful in their life, and they are one who very selflessly they enjoy your success and pray for your success in life. So they were really very happy, and fortunately my uncle was earlier, he was in service already, so they knew about the job I got, the prestige attached to it and everything. So they were very, very happy. And my uncle, I stayed with him at Chandigarh, and my cousin, his son, he informed me first about result, and he stayed with me for most of the time when I was preparing. So he was the first to drop the news and inform me that result is out and I was selected. So it was great news, and my parents and other family members, they were really very, very happy.
So, where did you started your professional journey from?
I joined Haryana Institute of Public Administration for 5 months for our initial training, and my first assignment was City Magistrate Gurgaon. Stayed there for a very brief time, and after 3 months I joined as General Manager Haryana Roadways Gurgaon Depot, and that was the period when I got the real exposure of administration and I got the confidence first time there. So Gurgaon was the place where I started my journey as an officer.
So, how was your first day as an officer?
I really enjoyed it. In fact, I come from a rural background, and though I stayed at Chandigarh, I spent some time with Devi College Chandigarh. I got exposure of the urban life also quite well. But still, the rural background that keeps you very humble and motivated. So earlier days were very good, and I got an opportunity to be guided by very able administrators and senior officers who not only motivated me but taught me my first lessons as officer, and they protected me at various times. So it was both an assignment to me working, but at the same time I was learning also. So I still take that time as a period which was training period, and at the same time the performance was also there. So it was great learning there.
So, what were your initial days challenges post becoming an officer?
Challenges were many. We were not given full year training first of all, so we didn't have any field experience, and 5 months institutional training means classroom teaching only, which we did in our graduation and post-graduation also. So revenue and law was taught in the classrooms, and some revenue work was done in the field also. But general administration, the exposure of the field offices was lacking. So when we joined, it was really tough to go through the files and where to write, how to write, whom to mark. So earlier days we struggled a lot, and then with the help of senior officer, colleagues, and even our subordinates, we learned how to deal the files. We go through various instructions and various books related to these. So when you enter in a new field, you have to acclimatize yourself with the environment, and the best way is to reading a lot, interacting with colleagues, asking questions to your subordinates, and asking for various instructions. So that was the time when we were almost like a blank paper, and we had to write a lot. So that was the challenge, but otherwise we enjoyed it. And later on, and still when I'm talking to you after putting in 23 years of service, I feel you need to upgrade yourself on daily basis. And it was not like we read a lot during this initial period. We still learn a lot, and every new assignment teaches you a lot, gives you exposure to a new field. So it's still, the challenges are there, but of course with persistent efforts and with the guidance and with support of our office, we are able to perform that job which was assigned at various point of time to us.
So what's that one thing you love about your profession the most?
Civil services provides you an immense opportunity to serve the society and to contribute in the progress of the nation. And most beautiful thing about this job is you get exposure of various departments, various walks of life. You interact at highest level. So you can see the functioning of the government, you can interact with the industrialist, you can interact with the entrepreneur, you can interact with the social reformers, big personalities, and at the same time it provides you an immense opportunity to serve the people, the last man in the line, and that is the beauty of this service. And with every transfer, most of the time you get an opportunity to work in a new department. So at the end of it, you become a multitasker. So it teaches you a lot, it makes you empowered and provide a wonderful opportunity to work for the people and the society.
So what all departments have you handled in your career till date?
Lot of departments. Fortunately, as revenue officer, I worked for more than 5 years as SDM in various subdivisions, and managing director sugar mills for more than 5 years in 3 different sugar mills. General manager Haryana Roadways in 3 different depots for more than 6 years. Then land acquisition collector, flying squad, ISBT, administrator, HSVP, private secretary to honorable union minister for some time, and municipal commissioner Gudgam and now Faridabad, and 2 districts as Deputy Commissioner Palwal and Faridabad. So it's a long journey, and various departments at various point of time in different districts. So great journey.
So which one was your favorite department and why?
The most important part for me, or which really motivated me and I really enjoyed, was taking revenue court and deciding the revenue cases. So that is the part which really enjoyed. But at present, if given an opportunity, I would like to work as municipal commissioner, which presently I am posted. So this is one job which has many challenges and which put you under tremendous pressure, and it brings out your best. So this is the department which I really love the most, and I would like to work with this.
So any particular moment you would like to share from your journey?
There are so many, in fact, good memories, bad memories, challenges, tough situations. There are so many. But most recent, this COVID period, it was unusual. It was really challenging. Challenging in the sense when you were not aware about the nature of this disease, this pandemic, and when people were really very apprehensive, they were afraid, they were under tremendous pressure, there was lockdown, people were within their houses. As Deputy Commissioner Faridabad, I found the initial days of pandemic very, very challenging, and we had to write all new SOPs for different jobs which we were expected to perform. We have to take care of the demands of the poor people who were housed and who they were not able to go to workplace and earn their livelihood. So they were short of food and everything. So we had to supply meals to them 3 times a day for 72 days continuously. So that was the time which really tested the patience, and I first time could realize that I could serve the army better because I never felt any fear for life or anything like that. And my colleagues who were working with me at that point of time as a team, they shown great courage, and they came out of their houses, went to public places and arranged everything for the people who were in dire need of help, whether it is food or health or any other thing. So it was tough time, but we could survive, and we did our best. And I'm happy that people acknowledged it, the government acknowledged it, and it was really challenging, and I enjoyed every bit of it because I could get an opportunity to serve the people in a crisis situation.
So, what was your first award, and what was the feeling when you received your first award?
So I was working as General Manager, Haryana Roadways Delhi Depot. So on the basis of my performance, the government of Haryana issued me an appreciation letter. So that was my first award from government side. Sports side, I got a lot of awards, but the most important first big award for me was appreciation letter from the government of Haryana, though I got 3 more in subsequent years, but it was first, and the government conveyed it to me, and it was great pleasure. In fact, I could enjoy it because I got it very early in my career, only second assignment, and on the basis of my financial performance it was awarded. So it was really great to receive that.
So what about your hobbies and interests?
I'm fond of playing cricket. Of course, I can go for it at any time. Whenever I get an opportunity, get time, I go and play cricket. That helps me in keeping good health also, and playing is such a pleasure that I would never like to miss it. Besides that, I always like to enjoy meditation, reading also. So these are my hobbies.
So how would you define the term success?
It's very simple for me. Any small achievement after a long planning, efforts. So anything which you planned and you wanted to achieve, if that is achieved, that is a success. Though I simply want to work for a cause, and it hardly matters whether I could achieve that or not. Only thing which I always like is to prepare for that fully and work hard to achieve that. And if I can achieve it, it's good. If I don't, I again change my strategy and try to achieve it in another way. So of course it gives you energy and motivation. So whenever you set a target for yourself and when you achieve it, when you see success in that, it motivates you to go further for another things. So that is it.
So what major difference do you feel in the work culture as an HCS officer and as an IAS officer?
HCS officer is the agency which implements the policies of the government at the ground level. So HCS officers, most of the time, they are involved in that process. They go to the field, they go on the spot for inspection of development works, for handling of crises, whether it is land or order situation or any demand. So they are the face of the government at cutting edge, and they are part of the execution. So as an IS officer, you get opportunity to serve at high responsibility post, and planning execution is your part, and you have a team which you are expected to lead and get the work done through them. So you are at supervision level, and you don't become part of the team which it executes. So that is the difference between a PCS officer and IS officer. ICE officer are most of the time they are behind the curtain and they are leading the team by giving instructions, and PCS officers they are with their team and implement the job at ground.
So, if you were able to roll back with the help of time machine, which phase of your life would you like to roll back?
I always would like to go back to university life. That was more energetic. We were really totally carefree. There was hardly any problem in the mind. There was no responsibility. Just going to the classes, enjoying teaching and coming back and playing and roaming around all the time. So that is the most energetic time, and I would like to go back to that only.
So, which was the most challenging task till date of your career life?
The present posting is the most challenging one. Municipal corporation is expected to provide different services to the people, and Faridabad corporation is facing a lot of problems because of resource crunch, because of human resource crunch, financial resources and human resource crunch. And city has grown fast, and it has lot of slums and colonies which are lacking basic infrastructure, because it's an industrial town, so a lot of people are coming from other states and living here. So under these circumstances, municipal corporation is finding tough to serve the city well, and we have to really pull up our socks and perform better. So in all the assignments I did till date, I think the present assignment is the toughest, the most challenging, but is of my interest, so I'm enjoying it.
So, which was your first posting, first task, and first sense of achievement post becoming an officer?
So my first posting was, of course, the City Magistrate Gurgaon, and my first achievement I would like to remember my second assignment at GM Roadways Gurgaon. So when I joined, the depot was in losses. The loss for the whole year was more than 6 crore previous year. So I joined that depot in January 2000, and when we were closing the financial year in March 2001, that depot was able to give profit of 1.65 crores of rupees. So after recouping the loss of 6 crore rupees, we were in profit of 1.65 crore rupees. So that was the first achievement, and I was really elated, as my whole team was very happy, and the employees of the depot, they were so proud of working under those circumstances and making the depot profitable. So it was really satisfying.
So, what's your mantra to tackle politicians and common men?
So it's very simple. Hear them patiently. Most of the time, sometimes we tend to take it negatively. Like if anybody is recommending, we feel agitated and offended. Why is telling me to do such and such thing? Most of the time, what they ask is part of our job. We should perform otherwise also in routine. So whenever the political person come, you should take it positively, respect him and hear him patiently. And if you can do that job, you just tell him, yes, it can be done, it is doable. If you are not able to do that because of any reason, you just let him know after some time. On face of it, sometime when he call you, he is among people. So listening a negative response make him embarrassed. So if you are not able to do that, you tell him later on. But most of the time, if you listen them carefully and patiently and respond positively, that serves the purpose. They most of the time are happy with that, and if you can do that and tell them back, it would be great. As far as common men are concerned, the same thing with them. You have been there before joining service, going to various offices, trying to get your jobs done. So if you keep yourself in their shoes, then you would be more sympathetic to them, and you would be able to spare some time, listen to them and help them out. So most of the time we try to at least help one person who is the most needy one in a day, and go out of way and help him. And if you just listen them carefully and patiently, they would be more than happy. Otherwise, I have been in a habit to dispose of the issues well in time so that people need not to come to you. But still, if they come, you hear them, and just giving them a sympathetic hearing would make a difference.
So, what's your role and responsibility as Commissioner Municipal Corporation Faridabad?
Municipal Corporation is serving to the 26 lakh of people of this city, and our basic job is to provide basic infrastructure like roads, water supply, sewage system, rainwater housing systems, and stormwater drains, street lights, etc. So this is the basic infrastructure which we provide to the town. Besides that, we provide lot of services to the people also, like registration of death and birth, issuance of trade licenses, updation of their property tax updation, then various services in form of billing system. So the basic thing which we do is to provide basic services to the people, and different services which government has entrusted us, we are providing those to the citizens.
So, what advice would you like to give to young officers?
They are very intelligent, and I think they should, since after a lot of hard work they join this service, and people who have stamina, intelligence, perseverance, they come to the service. So they should utilize their good traits for the development of the city, for the welfare of the state. And civil services means service to the people. So they should not forget it, and devote more time to the service than anything else. And that is it.
So, what all are do's and don'ts you would suggest for students who are preparing for UPSC examination?
One thing which I feel, which I did, was whenever you are reading, you just be with the book. And if you are not comfortable with it, leave it and come back later on. So continuously you have to go through this process. And second thing which I would like to tell them, don't go through any study material in haste. For example, if you are going through a book, you are reading it, go step by step, go through first chapter properly, memorize it, and visualize rather by closing the book whether you are able to comprehend the basic principles in the chapter. And if you are able to remember those, that means you have read it carefully, and then you can go on to the second chapter. So there would be no benefit if you go through the whole book in haste, and when you close the book you fail to recollect anything. So it would demoralize you and demotivate you. So just go slowly but systematically, and whatever you want to read, you must be able to recollect that most of the part. So if you do this for a longer period of time with consistency, you would be able to go through this exam, and that is the only difference between the success and those who could not make to it.
So, as per your opinion, who should and who should not try UPSC examination?
So anybody who wants to serve the nation, who wants to devote his life to the service of the people, they should come. And second important thing is one who is not in habit of devoting a lot of time, they should not come. If anybody wants to involve in personal pleasures and want to devote more time for himself, this service is not for them. If anyone who wants to contribute, who has the capacity to work hard for longer hours, and who sincerely, honestly can devote time, they should come. But of course it is open to everyone, and everyone is welcome.
So now we will start our rapid round. Your favorite actor and actress?
Amitabh Bachchan, of course, and Meenakshi Seshadri.
Hard work, smart work, or luck?
Only hard work.
Your favorite color?
Blue.
Your favorite destination?
Mountains.
Success in one line?
Achieving whatever you aspire for.
Things in your wish list?
Going back to my village and opening a charitable school for the kids and teaching again.
Your dream house,
My parents' house back at my village.
second choice of career.
Of course, as I told you, it was not my first choice. My first choice was army, and the second choice is teaching.
So at last, one line that defines you.
I believe in Gita, and I'm follower of that. And I always like to do my best. Of course, I'm a religious man, but for me, my work is my priority.
So thank you very much for your precious time, and it was pleasure talking to you and listening to your life experiences. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks for watching Amazing Mentor. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button to get regular updates. Thank you very much.